wasn't ready! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Neverlag for a sensual bonus podcast for all you pairs of ears out there.
For your ears,
or maybe if you like it one ear at a time, like me, maybe that's how you're doing this. I don't know what you're into.
Maybe you're on the left. Maybe you're on the right.
Are we on the left? Are we on the right? Let us know. Let us know how you like to take our podcast. Woo. Okay. Get your mind out of the gutter, everybody. Good grief. We are back with a bonus podcast, and we're going to talk about news stuff. It's SGF week. The ghost of E3 has taken place, and we've had a handful of showcases, some better, some worse, and some other happenings, some other notable happenings that I think we all need to get off our chest and just kind of vent about. And so we're gonna chat about the industry a little bit more, a little bit less about what we've been playing, a little bit more about the industry. So to kick things off, let's kind of talk about SGF week. I mean, we just had, let's start with Nintendo, because we just had the Nintendo Direct today.
We'll start negative and work positive, because there is positive.
That's how I like to do it. Yeah, there is positive. Did you watch the Nintendo Direct, or did you just skim it? What did you do?
I just looked up an article summary. I didn't have time today to watch it.
I envy you so deeply.
I tuned in towards the end. I just joined live, I think 15 minutes from the end. And honestly, that was pretty amusing to jump in when I did. So
yeah, dude, my brother and Mario, it was so bad. It was just like...
I mean, Calvin, weren't you saying you dropped in and there was like two people having a thumb war?
Yeah, I
oh my gosh!
Yes. I joined.
That was honestly the most Nintendo part of this whole direct. I was like, all right, that's kind of funny and amusing.
What's his face? The guy that was the spokesman guy. He's like got a face cam and he's doing the thumb war and like having a dub narrator over it.
So no other company.
And he's losing. He loses the thumb.
He loses. He loses the thumb war. It's the new sports. Let me pull up Nintendo real quick.
Oh yeah, it's the esports, whatever the.
Not esports. Nintendo Sports
Professional
Island.
esports
Resort.
It's what is it called?
Resort,
Nintendo Switch Sports Resort was the announcement.
That's what I'm thinking.
And one of the 12 games is thumb war wrestling or whatever.
So yeah, that's that happened to be when I just joined live, and then it didn't get better from there. But I was just that just cracked me up so much.
Dude, you tuned in at probably the best half of the whole thing.
Hilarious.
So here's the deal with the Nintendo thing, just to
First, I gotta say, thumb wrestling is my favorite thing to do at a resort.
Dude, I'd be lying if I said I didn't kind of want to play some thumb wrestling on sports.
It'll probably be kind of fun. It's probably going to be like Wii Sports.
Yeah, no, it's totally. So it's kind of a cool announcement. I don't really. This wasn't where I was planning on picking up with this, but bringing the Wii Sports thing to the Switch 2 finally for a new generation and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why they haven't done a better job of keeping a modern version of that, because that was such a cultural zeitgeist back then. People who never have touched a video game played Wii bowling. So for that to exist, I think is kind of essential for Nintendo. I don't know what they've been doing this whole time, but just to put a broad statement on this Nintendo Direct, this was a travesty for SGF week. If this were just on an island in the middle of the year Nintendo Direct, it still would have been painful, but it would have been all right. When you put it in the company of the showcases we've had over the past week, it was just so poorly put together. I think the production value is really glaring at this point for Nintendo, which is ironic because they started the whole Nintendo Direct thing that everyone copied, and now everyone does it so better. Xbox, so much better. Xbox and PlayStation both had infinitely better showcases, and it's a shame because honestly, there's some cool things that were announced in this Nintendo Direct and some cool dates and there's cool stuff here on paper, but it was hard to watch. It just is paced poorly. There's no build up to some of the cool announcements. It's just really kind of quiet, and the production value and pacing is just so bad with these.
That's a bummer because I just looked at the list literally on paper and I was like, this isn't terrible. There's definitely some cool things here. Yeah. But I could totally imagine the way they sometimes they'll just like throw it out there like, and now the most hyped thing you've ever cared about for half a second. Moving on to Thumb Wars, and you're like, wait, go back.
Moving on to freaking what was the one that killed me in this? That was just like, how was this in this direct? I should have had it pulled up quicker because now I can't remember. Oh, it's not. Is it not on this list? Come on, IGN. They even omitted it from this list. It was like,
what was it? I didn't even see it then.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I don't. It was like, it's a famous IP I can't think of right now, so I'm gonna just move on because I'm blanking. Yeah, it's not okay. So that makes me worried that this isn't a fully extensive list. But anyways, production was just really bad. So that sucks. But that said, let's just briefly talk about it. Ocarina of Time was officially announced. I think that the weight behind this announcement was really taken out by the fact that we all kind of knew that this was happening.
Yeah.
And so for it to end the direct and then also not show any gameplay was a real... Felt like a real L for the...
Even the trailer wasn't like a good trailer. It wasn't even like the trailer was hype, you know? Because
it was the kind of trailer. It was the kind of trailer that you give when a game has just been like greenlit.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the type of trailer you see 4 years before it launches. Now, granted, this is a remake, so I don't know.
So for us to have already,
2026, but
and I guess it's not Nintendo's fault it leaked. I don't know how it leaked, but we kind of knew this was happening, and so for it to have a 2026 date, they didn't give us a real date, just 2026, and no gameplay was really just kind of like, man, that's a really unimpressive way to end the show, even with a cool announcement. It was like, how did you make this not as cool as it should have been, basically? Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 4 was another really weird one where just like, if you were watching the direct, it was so anticlimactic. Like they showed all the Kingdom Hearts games coming to Switch 2, and then they just kind of went into Kingdom Hearts 4, and everyone's like, Kingdom Hearts 4 is here? This is huge. And then it ends.
No build up.
It's just coming to Switch. There's no real news. There's no date. Just it's coming to Switch 2.
What is
Nintendo
doing?
Again, that was another like weird roller coaster where I saw that and I was like, "What the heck?" And I got pretty excited, and then like I was just like left confused and like, okay.
At this point, we needed something new, and just the fact that it's coming to Switch 2 at launch. That's cool for Switch owners and people that only have a Switch, but for anyone else
what does that even
Kingdom
mean?
Hearts 4, it just means that it'll be on Switch 2 at launch.
It just means when Kingdom Hearts 4 does come out, it'll be available on Switch 2 as well.
Which is notable because the Switch has always been less powerful, and sometimes it struggles with third-party games. So that was a thread. That was an important thread through this whole direct. Is there's a lot of third-party now coming to Switch 2, and they've also shown quite a few things coming day and date, like what's the game that I told you I played last night that I can't remember the name of the demo.
Oh, Onimusha.
Why is my brain broken? Onimusha is coming day and date to Switch 2. So like in Stellar Blade and Lies of P, all these games are coming to Switch 2 now. So like that is cool. That's good. They needed to get that out there.
That's already out. But yeah, they're
not exciting. Not exciting to anyone who has a PC or PlayStation or has played these games. So
this makes sense for the Switch ecosystem, and I'm glad about it generally. But it's also like
it's just not exciting for like a showcase.
Exactly.
It's more of a blog announcement almost. You would think so. But yeah, the Kingdom Hearts thing was, and the other thing about Kingdom Hearts 4, I don't know if you guys have watched the footage. It sounds like you did, Calvin. Kingdom Hearts 4 did not look impressive to me. It didn't show well here either. It was a lot of stuff we've already seen, and the stuff that kind of felt like, oh, we're getting more gameplay showing here, really felt dated to me. Like, man, I kind of feel like this is
what worries me is I feel like as they progress, and you know, in 3 and now especially as they're getting into 4. They're trying to lean more into a little bit more realistic, and it's not that realistic. So, but it also fully loses the like charm of the original game. So,
well, and that's the thing. This trailer didn't show off any of the Disney IP at all. It's just in a modern looking city. Like, what are we in Donk City now with Sora? I don't know.
A little worried about. Yeah, I mean, and maybe they just don't want to reveal the exciting IP.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Yet. But it is a little hard to be that excited about.
Because like a modern engine, like a new crisp looking Kingdom Hearts with like crisp looking visuals of Disney worlds does sound fantastic. We're just not seeing any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried for me personally that like Kingdom Hearts 3 did not hit for me.
No,
I loved Kingdom Hearts as a kid, but I really just didn't I just didn't have a lot of fun with Kingdom Hearts 3.
I kind of want to go back and try and finish it. Yeah, and that's kind of the game it was.
I don't think it was that great, and I just feel like the formula for how Kingdom Hearts plays is too dated now. I think it needs updating, and they keep sticking stringently to it. Like, we can't mess with the formula because this is what Kingdom Hearts is. And I think for me, unfortunately, it's probably run its course, not to the same extent, but similar to the remakes for Final Fantasy VII, where it's just like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough fun with Kingdom Hearts 4 to actually play it. So
yeah,
that's just a me thing. Everyone's excited about it.
That's funny that you use that example, because I was just about to say I wish they would give it the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment by kind of revamping the combat in a way that feels modern and more interesting.
That's fair, because remake did revamp the combat, and I do think it needs some new life breathed into it.
And I think you could do that and still keep...
Totally. I watched the combat in the trailer, and I'm just like...
It doesn't...
I just don't want to mash square or whatever forever, you know? Like... Yeah. And aside from that, visually, I also was kind of unimpressed with what they showed. Like, I would expect more from an IP of that weight. So, anyways, not to just completely crap all over it, but this was a weird one where the trailer didn't hit for me, and then there was really no exciting information. No, like, spring 2027, nothing. No Disney IP.
I was just kind of just in line with the rest of this direct while we were talking about it, and I think this is maybe a new trailer, but it feels like a lot of things that we kind of like recombine. Like,
you could have told me this is what we watched.
It's 2 or 3 years ago, and it feels like it's spliced together from like very similar. Like, I think there's a little bit new here, but it doesn't feel that different than what we already like knew for the most part.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll see.
I will say in this direct, if you're into Fire Emblem or Xenoblade, some huge news for you. We got the date for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Which is September 17th, and then Xenoblade 1 through 3 are coming to Switch 2, and then they also announced Xenoblade 4. So those are some big games for Nintendo that I don't personally care about. I don't think I'm going to play Fire Emblem. I'm curious, but I just don't think it's my style. So, I mean, that can contribute to how you feel about this direct if you're into those games.
Yeah.
We got a release date. Yeah. We got a release date for Orbitals, which is cool because that's one I'm actually really looking forward to, and is a Switch exclusive, unfortunately, but it's coming out September 3rd to add on to the 50 games releasing in September.
Yeah, dang. And I think Fire Emblem is September as well.
Dude, I honestly wanted to find a comprehensive list of everything releasing in September after SGF, but I couldn't find one. But legitimately, it's insanity. Like, someone release alongside GTA, because
honestly, the list is, if you don't know the date, but it has one, it's September.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to me that all these they're picking to release within 100 other games in September rather than just GTA.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's like, which is worse? I don't know. What else? Is there anything else standing out to you from this? I think we got a date for Onimusha. I think that might have been new. Hold on. Did it give us a date? Remember. September 25th. I don't know if we had that
September.
or not.
I can't remember if we already had that from something else or not. I feel like we knew it was September, but maybe not.
I actually played the demo to that last night. I had zero interest in that game, and I gotta say, fun. Actually grabbed me. I was like, dude, this has the gameplay sauce. Like, I flew through the demo and was like,
cool.
I might play this game.
Nice. Well, that's nice to look forward to. I mean, one other thing, did they mention? I thought I saw on the list they said something about the Duskbloods, but I don't think we really got one.
So Duskbloods. This was another. This was a Kingdom Hearts thing. Yeah. It was like FromSoft forgot that this direct was happening, and they pieced together the worst little trailer ever of stuff we've mostly already seen and no gameplay, and then just said a beta is coming in the summer, and that's it.
Ooh, I wonder if that's a bad sign for it coming out this year.
I hope so, because I counterpicked it.
I know.
Yeah, closed network test this summer, and it's just like.
But it was also it was like 30 seconds long. It was not. Dang. It was nothing.
You'd think
another whiff.
If that's coming out this year, you think that would get more attention? Like, yeah. I think the whole point of having an exclusive FromSoft game is like, that's huge. Why wouldn't you make more of a big deal about that?
Yeah. I don't know. But this was a weird direct, it's
weird, but it's like so Nintendo to do stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop watching these. I actually am, because as much as any Sony can whiff or crap the bed or Xbox, Nintendo They habitually do this where it's just like, man, I wasted an hour of my life sitting down watching the way you did this. I would much rather just catch up later.
There's not many of their things where I enjoy the process of watching them through and through. Yeah. Even if they're like, this thing had a couple of call outs that I think are cool. And I think for the overall Switch 2 ecosystem, there's actually a decent amount on the way. But like, it does not sound like it's an enjoyable.
The other thing to shout out is Final Fantasy Resonance was announced, which I think maybe is actually one of the biggest actual announcements from this, which is an HD 2D remake of, or like reimagining or remake of the mobile game, which is similar to what they did with Octopath Zero last year, which actually turned out really well, and people loved Octopath Zero. So they're taking a mobile game and like stripping it of the mobile elements and then like reconstructing and remaking it into a single player console game with Final Fantasy. So I loved the HD 2D art style when it first happened with Octopath, and now I'm just like, can we take this style, can we take this, like, genre is the wrong word, but I just want to see some different visual styles. It all looks the same, and I'm kind of tired of it. Like, it feels like it would be possible to make an HD 2D game that doesn't look exactly like Octopath, you know? Anyways.
You'd think, but it is a hard limit of physics.
Nigh impossible. Anyways, I don't know what else. There might have been some other thing. There were some other small things here, but that was mostly
Pocopia
the
DLC,
direct.
I think for a
Pocopia
lot of people,
DLC.
I think that's neat. Pocopia is like not my genre of game, but I enjoyed what I played of it, and I think a lot of people will be thrilled about that.
Yeah. So, like I said, there was some cool stuff here. It just was so poorly put together. And then for me to end with Ocarina and then just like a title card, no date, no gameplay was really just.
So I picked up Ocarina for the Fantasy Critic on the rumor like a couple of weeks ago. And so I woke up this morning first thing and I was like, please. And I saw it was announced. I was like, awesome. I'm going to watch it.
Really? God, I'm so screwed.
Yeah, I
thought for sure that was 1 hour. At least I could try and.
No, I got that one. I picked that up, but I took a risk. I picked that up maybe 3 weeks ago. But I went to watch the trailer thinking, it's 20, because in the trailer it said it's confirmed for 2026.
It's coming out.
I watched the trailer. It is, but it's like, it's coming out this year, and this is the trailer we get. Like, I mean, I'm excited for it. It's not like it didn't make me excited.
No, it was a brutal showing.
It's just like you could have shown something more. You could have even had a better cinematic. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. So that was the direct this morning. I got that off my chest. Done venting. From there, I just let's take it just an overview of SGF week with the state of play, Xbox, and SGF itself.
Yeah, should we go in that order? Like start with.
Yeah, I think we will, but I'm just curious. I know, Cal, you probably don't have as many thoughts, but if you have some, feel free to chime in. Zach, I'm curious, which one was your favorite? Which one was the standout of, like, I thought this was the best showcase of the week?
That's actually kind of a tough question. Like, I feel like, Nintendo aside, I really, there's a lot this week that is exciting across the different showcases. Like, as frustrating as the industry is and as many problems as there are, like, there's things to gripe about. There are a lot of cool things that were announced. We got some dates on a variety of different projects. We got some announcements for some new stuff. There was some bloat in a few of them. I think SGF probably had the heaviest hitters for me personally, based on a couple of things on my list. But State of Play was close behind it with God of War making a showing. And then I finally caught up on the Xbox showcase as of yesterday. There's actually quite a few things in the Xbox showcase that I'm really excited about. So, man, I don't know. The whole week is great for me, mostly, but I think SGF had... I'd probably go with SGF, which I know is going to be different from you, but probably SGF.
SGF really takes the prize.
Yeah.
I unmuted, right? Yeah, you've been responding to me. Okay. I think, what's funny is that I think SGF week, for me personally, it lacked one of the, like, huge announcements that would really get me. Like, I think of what's coming next from Round 8 for Lies
There's
of
a
P.
lot notably missing.
What's coming? What's the next actual mainline game from FromSoft? I kind of thought maybe we'd find that out this week.
Same.
God forbid
Dustblunts.
Insomniac
You got
has
it
even
today
started.
at Nintendo.
No, yeah. And then God forbid Insomniac has actually started thinking about Ratchet again. Like, they're just some games that I hope that I want and that would just, like, make my life. None of those were here this week, but as I went through each one and kind of made my little list here, I was surprised at how balanced the week was. Like, every single showcase, I was going through the list and I'm like, oh yeah, that and that and that. Oh yeah, that and that was here. lot of balance. I didn't feel like any of them were notably worse than the others, other than Nintendo. I think for me, it really is so close. I think for me, honestly, don't know if I can choose. I guess I should have thought this through.
Yeah. Gun to your head. You made me do it.
Gun to my head. I feel like it's got to be the state of play. Okay. But it's just on the back of God of War mostly. We got a lot of dates. I think as far as this is so funny because I complained a lot about it when it happened, which is par for the course, but SGF, actually looking back on it, had more announcements that are exciting to me. I'm critical of SGF because we got far less dates and gameplay. So like,
yeah, I think that's fair.
One of the things going into the week that I told you guys I could be really excited about was, are we going to get a Cuphead 2? And we got that announcement. It's been long enough that I kind of thought, oh, maybe we'll get some gameplay or something, but it was truly like a Cuphead 2 will exist someday.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, oh, that's really cool, but also that kind of sucks because how far away from that are we?
Cuphead 2 has been conceived.
Has been conceived in our brains. And then Stellar Blade Bloodrain. Dude, like, Stellar Blade was the announcement of the week probably for me, up there close to like Eliza P. Yeah. But again, it's just, and it's fair because Stellar Blade came out only 2 years ago, I think.
Yes, 2024.
It's not coming soon, but it still was just like, that's cool to know, and that was a dope trailer. But how long is it going to be before we play in that game?
At least 2 years.
I have to say, my favorite announcements were at SGF. I just hate seeing stuff that's 5 years away. I'm tired of that.
We did get a couple of dates at SGF. They just weren't things you cared about, but I hear you. I think we got less dates than we wanted. I think throughout the week there are just some big notable things missing from a lot of big developers, and that is not just any one showcase. I feel like they're developers.
Which means maybe 2027 we get a whole bunch of news. I don't know. There's always too many games. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's plenty. I will say, because I wrote down a list for each one, and I came away from this thinking, next year is going to be insane. Just based off of things that have a date for next year. It's looking really good. So maybe we should go.
Let's jump in with the state of play, which I thought was a really, really good showing, despite the fact that starting with Wolverine,
one of the better showcases in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it felt like a showcase. It felt like a showcase in a way that we haven't seen. We've only seen like maybe one other since the PS5 launch.
Yeah.
It was of that quality and content, I would think.
Felt more like a proper state of play for sure.
I think maybe the worst showing of the state of play was Wolverine, and I feel like I'm in the minority with that, but like,
I'm with you.
I thought it looked,
I mean, all three of us are in agreement with that. I think we all might be in the minority, but
I think we are.
I walked away because I was gonna play Wolverine because I like the character. I like X-Men somewhat. I wish Insomniac would work on Ratchet or something, and I don't like Wolverine nearly as much as Spider-Man.
I know, I'm trying not to let that bias
I've been a little interested, and it is Insomniac. They're good at making games, so my plan has been to play it. After seeing the gameplay and stuff of the showcase, it didn't look terrible, but it didn't look great.
Looked really underwhelming.
There's so many games I want to play this year. I kind of walked away thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get to this.
I view Insomniac as one of the top 5 developers in the gaming industry. And this was by far the worst looking game I've seen from them. It was low enough in quality and like fidelity, and that I genuinely was a little bit shocked at how it showed, because I expect more from Insomniac. And I'm really surprised at the general sentiment of this game, is everyone's like, oh, it looked amazing, it looked so good. And I've seen a couple people critique the blood disappearing really quickly, or the hair on his arm, dude, at the beginning of the trailer looks, it sounds so silly to say, but like legitimately it looked really dated. And from a game, modern game coming out from,
it makes you sound so insufferable, but
it really did look bad. As soon as it showed I was just like, that looks last gen, dude. That does not look up to snuff.
Multiple things, and I even heard there were some people, like, kind of funny, I think they were like really praising this, and then as they kept talking about it, more than a few of them were kind of noting,
they started getting there. They started getting there.
I think there's a lot of hype around this because it's Insomniac and because it's Marvel and Wolverine. A lot of people love Wolverine.
People aren't seeing with the clarity that we bring to the table, you know?
Right. They're not as logical.
They're overcome with emotion.
Right. It's It's a lot of little things. It doesn't look terrible, but yeah, like details like the hair in his arm, or like the blood disappearing is actually one of the few things that I didn't even think about. But like the general look and feel of the character model and the environments and set pieces all felt
the
very,
environments
like,
looked pretty basic.
Kind of basic.
It looked the lighting and like you said the environments all looked really underwhelming and kind of bad. Like it didn't.
It looked like
striking.
It looked like a Ghost of Tsushima, pre-Ghost of Tsushima type of game.
And I just, I remember when Spider-Man 2018 and then even Spider-Man 2, when those came out, there were aspects of the visuals that like were so stunning, and this just seems, and maybe there'll be different locations that show it off better. Like I feel like picking like a factory warehouse parking lot, whatever this was,
for sure,
was maybe not the best.
But also, in some ways, that's also easier to look good. I feel like because there's less going on, less noise.
As far as the gameplay they showed, the quick moment where it shows him riding the motorcycle in motion and all that, it looked really good. But
we'll see.
To me, it feels like a lot of people, they just, again, like you said, they love Marvel, they love Wolverine, and then they also just they've been wanting a gruesome Wolverine game, and so the fact that it's just really gory, I think people are just like all over that and kind of blinded to other things.
My point is like one of my big points about Wolverine is that with Spider-Man, like the star of the show is the web swinging, and then like the combat.
Hey, don't steal my talking point.
To steal Levi's talking point, the web swinging is like by far the best part, and that's like what makes it feel like Spider-Man.
When you're on the ground, it sucks. Yeah.
When it's on the ground, it kind of sucks. With Wolverine, like there's no web swinging. So what is the? I guess the gore is kind of where they step
like
in.
Spider-Man without the best parts.
I think the
and they're like,
the gore is the swinging.
He's Wolverine.
We'll cover it with blood. They won't notice that they're not web swinging or flying through the sky.
So my point has been, it feels like this veneer of gruesomeness over something that's kind of lackluster.
A distraction.
Whereas with Spider-Man, like the web swinging wasn't just like a veneer; it was like it was kind of the whole crux of the game.
And nothing else has ever done that.
I'm worried about that, and I
now
hope
that
there's more to it, though.
Now that we've lost all of our viewership complaining about Nintendo and Wolverine, it does make me wonder. This looking below the quality bar I expect from Insomniac, it makes me wonder if it's being rushed a little bit because of how how bad a spot Sony is in, and Insomniac's just been carrying Sony for years at this point. But maybe Sony's kind of being like, hey, can you get this out this year? Can you get out a little early and move on to something else? Because we screwed everything up and we don't have the games.
That is a reasonable conclusion.
This to me looks like a Insomniac game that's not fully done. That's what it looks like.
That's the vibe I get. Is like this is 6 months to a year behind where it should, or like this should be. They need longer, clearly. And again, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because Insomniac is great. Like the Spider-Man games are all awesome. They're amazing. The Ratchet games are all great. Like this is an incredible studio, and I'm sure. Like I think Wolverine probably will have some fun aspects to it, but I'm just worried that it's missing some of the secret sauce that the Spider-Man games had. And then on top of that, if they're rushing it, it starts to make me wonder: is there enough working against that it's just not going to hit the same for me? But we'll see. I mean, it is Insomniac. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think it was the worst showing of this showcase, which is kind of crazy. But
thank God it was not what it was actually about. Like it was clearly not the star of the show.
For sure. IGN didn't do me a favor here. These are not in order, but I'm going to go in the order that they have them here. Until Dawn 2 was announced, and I didn't play Until Dawn, but this looked kind of cool. Like I like it
grabbed my attention.
The influencer island.
I'm
gone wrong horror thing, and then the like make decisions and people die or don't. Like this was cool. We'll see if the new studio can pull it off because it's being done by, I don't remember. It's a new studio doing it, but it looked good to me.
I'm curious. I did play the first one back in the day, and that's what it's fun for. Is it's like an interactive horror movie, and like I remember we played it with some friends, and it was fun to like make decisions together and then be like, oh my God, this person died, or we just got away from this thing. So hopefully they can capture some of that magic. I thought it looked intriguing. I like the setting. I'm not fully sold on it being like, I'm worried that the quality is not going to end up being great, but I'm down for the ride, and I'm hoping it's good.
Yeah. A lot of people really stoked on this Stuntman Hollywood, which apparently is a re-emerging franchise I'm not familiar with. I thought it looked really cool, and then they said what it was, and I guess I'm just not sure what the game is. Do any of you know anything about Stuntman?
I don't really know, but I am one of those that it looked really cool to me, and I'm interested. It might not be like...
I mean, I assume it's going to be like mission-based, and it's
probably going to be chapter-based or something.
Oh, okay.
Like you play a story or something.
Cool. I don't know.
It just looks cool. It looks like that would be a blast. That's all I'm saying. So
that's all I'm saying, bro.
That one didn't do it for me personally, but I could see it being cool.
Yeah.
There's a card game in SGF that I'm excited for,
we got an announcement, or not, I think we've seen this, but a re-showing of Kemuri, which is the stylish third-person action game that is co-op multiplayer. We're not 100% sure what it's going to look like. It's coming in 2027. I will say this trailer was dope. The art style is reminiscent of like Sifu. Just tons of style to the gameplay and the art here. If it's a Night Rain like, I could really be interested. This could be a really cool world to run around, the two or three of us, and do kind of a Night Rain type of situation. I don't want, if it's season pass, if there's PvP, I'm probably out. But if it's Night Rain co-op type of deal, I really like the palette, the color, the art. I think this looks like it could be fun, depending on what it actually is.
Yeah, I thought it had a compelling look. The song they accompanied with that was stuck in my head for days.
Oh, really? I don't even remember it.
Now, I'm forgetting what it is now, but I remember there was a couple of days where I just had it stuck in my head. But yeah, that didn't personally grab me in terms of like, I'm not sure if the mechanics are out, but however, the art style is really cool, and if it is kind of Night Rain-like and it's something we could do together, I would be open to try it.
Yeah, it looks fun if it doesn't have live service elements that immediately turn me off, I guess, is where I'm waiting on that one. Mm-hmm. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis got a release window. No, date. Was it a date? February 12th.
February something.
February 12th, 2027, which is a delay from what they said. They said it was coming out this year, so that was kind of a bummer.
I'm glad you didn't counterpick it. I had to drop that off my list.
Shoot. I should have done that. I'm screwed. We don't even need to talk about that. Zach paid attention for once in his life, and he's going to destroy me this year. So,
I did my homework.
Yeah, this looks cool. I'm actually really excited to play this. I've never played the original Tomb Raider. The new design for Lara is growing on me. I still prefer the old design, and I heard something that if you pre-order this, it comes
like the 30 or the 64-bit.
Yeah, I prefer the pointy boobs. I miss the I want to cut glass with those things.
Right. Me too.
No, I like the 2013 reboot. I felt like it was a really gritty, athletic-looking Lara Croft. I really liked that. This kind of is splitting the difference and kind of getting a little more cartoonish and voluptuous, back to more the old school Lara Croft. But I heard something somewhere that if you pre-order this game, there's a skin for her that makes her the 2013 version, and I was like, okay, that'd be cool.
It's not a bad one.
But either way, Tomb Raider with dinosaurs
looks awesome.
Yeah,
I'm kind of really
I was in on Tomb Raider
this.
Dinosaurs, and I know that's in some of the old, I'm in.
I hope that it hits like Uncharted. I wonder what it's going to hit, because it's an old game being remade. How much is going to still feel dated? I don't know. But if it can hit like Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3 vibes, that would be dope.
Yeah. I mean, Uncharted with dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know. We got Rayman Legends Retold, which I was really stoked about. It's cool to see any mascot platformer in 2026. I'm gonna get excited about.
I'm excited.
Not a big Rayman guy, but this looked. I liked the 3D elements. I wish there was going to be more. Upon learning more, it's just kind of like a smaller part of the game, which is basically a remake, as it implies, of the original Rayman Legends. So that kind of bums me out. I kind of want I want new games of these rather than remakes. Like when we get the Crash trilogy, the Spyro trilogy, those are cool. But it's when we get the Crash 4s that it's like, let's go. Like someone taking what was great about those games back then and making a brand new game that is faithful but new.
A spiritual successor to those.
Visually.
So I hope that this leads to a new Rayman, and then we'll get to the new Spyro. I want new Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Visually, it did like remind me a lot of like Crash 4 or something. It
looks great. It looks great, and I'm excited about it. It's priced at $40 and coming out October 1st. So I think I'm probably going to check this out because
I probably will too. Because I played Rayman 2: The Great Escape on, I can't remember if that was on PlayStation or Nintendo 64. Either way, I think I played it on N64. But that was like a 3D platformer Rayman, and I would love if they did a new 3D platform. Like that was an awesome game. So same sentiment. I'm excited for this, and I hope it is an indication. I hope it sells well enough that they maybe decide to work on a new Rayman 3D platformer. Because if it's done well, I think it may not quite hit the levels of Ratchet or Sly Cooper, but it's not terribly far behind either. Like it could be good.
And it was a complete unknown that we got a release date for this year. And again, a mascot platformer. I want more of those. So this is actually, I think, where we got the date for Onimusha Way of the Sword, September 25th, which, as I mentioned, I played the demo last night and was really surprised at how fun it was.
That's exciting. It wasn't on my list to try, but maybe I should.
Yeah, because I had no connection to this, and I jumped in and I was like, dang, this is a third-person action combat system that actually has some depth and nuance to it and reminds me of Sekiro, but is different, and it was just fun. So
yeah.
I'm a little excited about that. Now, Control Resonant, I feel like we continue to see more of this, and I don't need to see more of it, but it continues to show well, and everyone's kind of raving about it. So I'm actually low-key. I think Control Resonant is one of my most anticipated games for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, Control is one of my favorite games, so I just want more of it.
And I've heard good, even though the combat I have questions on, I keep hearing really good things about it from everybody. And then also the other thing that gets me excited is that I've heard some quotes about the team over there, how they loved Control, but they also kind of felt like the environments were samey after a while in the Bureau.
Okay.
And I didn't have a problem with that, but they're saying they went hard into more enemy design, more environment variety and visual design. And that team, they're so imaginative. That excites me to see, like, because I think about Control, like when you go down and fight that like 3-headed flower boss or whatever, you know, there was some really cool moments, but they were few and far between with the variety of enemies and locations. And so for them to say they're kind of leaning into that really excites me to see what they've cooked up.
That one's shaping up to be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about Phantom Blade Zero till we see more. I'm excited. This was kind of a weird teaser. Silent Hill Townfall. I don't have any thoughts on Silent Hill. Do you guys?
I've never been into those games.
Yeah, we got to fly through some of this. So
it's a big IP. So
Marvel Tokon looks like a good
there's
fighting
some other
game
big
if you're
stuff
into
for
it.
people who care about it.
Lots of horror stuff, which I'm not really into.
Yeah.
Silent Hill.
Not my genre.
Impressive, but gross, and I don't think I'm gonna try it.
I will say, The Lost Wild.
Yes.
That's the one I was going to bring up.
Intrigued. Very intrigued, because this looks like a horror stealth Dead Space feeling kind of game, but dinosaurs. You're hiding from dinosaurs. I hope it doesn't come out and it's terrible. Like I actually want this to be good because it looked really cool.
If it can deliver on what it looks like it was showing off, then it's just going to be awesome.
That's definitely. I'm definitely keeping tabs on that one.
I think they just said 2027 for The Lost Wild. Bancho the Chef is the follow-up / prequel to Dave the Diver, which I haven't gotten into yet. Marathon Season 2, it looks so dope. It's just the problem is the genre. Like, Bungie, go make Destiny. Come on, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
No Rest for the Wicked getting 1.0. Super stoked. I believe it's October.
That looks so cool.
They don't say the date here, just October. But like, I've had my eyes on this for like 2 years as it's been in early access. Have put it off, waiting for 1.0. It's coming out in October, and we definitely have to jump in on this. It's the team that made Ori, and they decided to go with an isometric, painterly Dark Souls game with a persistent world that you can play on co-op, and it looks amazing.
I mean, that's
so stoked to try this game.
That's maybe lower on the tier, but that's one of my most excited things. I'm most excited for. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's one of the games I was waiting for the most to hit 1.0. Yeah. Ace Combat 8 looks really cool. I'm curious, but also I kind of feel like it's going to be the Armored Core Rubicon
that's
style.
my exact impression.
That I don't vibe with that mission based I'm not into that, so I don't know. I'm
intrigued. It does look cool.
It looks cool,
but it's also like I kind of would love to drop in and try a teeny bit of it, but I don't think it's going to be a game that's for me personally.
Yeah, and then obviously there's the big one, God of War.
20 minutes.
I knew we were forgetting something.
I knew there was something. Half this direct, it was drawing a blank. Some people are complaining. Gamers, people can't have anything, can't agree on anything on the internet. But like literally, they're like 20 minutes too much gameplay, and it's just like okay, and then we don't get gameplay, and we're like where's the gameplay?
Why are you complaining about? Just don't watch all of it. Like gameplay is like the most.
I will admit, if it had gone longer, it might have been too long. But like, I don't know. I was kind of riveted the entire time. I was just like,
I feel like it was as long as it needed because it showed like a distinct progression in segment. It showed you the opening through like the boss fight. Basically,
I mean it was long enough to show us, give us a good sense of what this game is going to be with. So,
and then
which is woke.
Not to start off prodding or engaging with the trolls on the internet, but like people talking about the cube and the ribbon that you meet. I believe it's Frank and Rue. Comparing it just because it's a talking inanimate object like a cuff from Forspoken, but saying it's like Forspoken. The writing was not even
to Forspoken.
No,
that's like saying
it's
just
asinine.
Because that's being like there is an object character and there is dialogue, therefore Forspoken. It's like, what are you talking about?
I thought the dialogue was intriguing and interesting. I wasn't rolling my eyes at any point, even when she said I'm the ribbons, obviously. I was like, that's kind of funny.
And it was it was written and delivered well.
And in the showing that we saw, I never felt like they talked too much. I felt like it was, I don't know.
No.
So, and I kind of trust too much into slapstick either. Like it was a little funny, but it was like
good.
Our main character kind of just focused on the task at hand. Like it just felt kind of natural in the world.
So we kind of jumped into this at a weird part, but God of War Laufey, or I'm probably just going to call it Faye. I'm surprised they didn't just call it Faye.
Well, I think her name is Laufey. I think Faye is just a shortened version of it.
I know, but that's all they refer to her as in the game. Okay. And I think it would have been easier for everybody. But anyways, that was announced, and I think this will go down as an all-time announcement. The way that it literally starts, first of all, they really milked the black screen before it started. I mean,
the black screen.
Into
if
the
it
music,
went on too long, it was probably.
I do think. I think the majority, me included, as soon as we heard that humming, music, I think we were like standing and clapping.
Yeah, for sure. They knew what they had. That's why they had a theater for this.
Yeah.
But the way for it to start with Kratos lighting the pyre.
2018.
And then we literally no cutscene, just like 2018. You know what's crazy? This game in 2018 essentially start the exact same way.
I know. Well, that's
what's brilliant. About that? That's wild.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
And with no cutscene, there's going to be no cutscenes or loading screens as we would expect. For it to go from that to start watching it start a new game to go through the entire intro.
Basically, to take that same scene and do the same thing from a different perspective was...
Dude. And then as we've discussed and geeked out about the story implications of what we're going to find out in this game is so... Like, I hadn't mentally processed how exciting that is. And the things that we don't know from 2018 and Ragnarok that will get answers. That we talked about the horn that is blown in 2018 that we don't... Or was it Ragnarok or 2018?
Yeah. 2018.
But, like, just one of those things that was never answered and you kind of forget and you move on and it's like... Dude, that was probably Faye, or we're gonna find out who it was. Probably.
The other thing that I'm wondering too, and I don't know if we actually have an answer on this, but it makes me wonder if they kind of had this plan at least loosely from the very 100%. Beginning, because when we don't get the answer of who blew the horn in 2018, you're like, okay, surely it's going to be answered in Ragnarok.
It's going to be in Ragnarok, and it
never
wasn't.
Answered
so
in
Ragnarok. They clearly had. It's the opposite of the modern Star Wars trilogy. Like someone had a plan from the start because this just is coming together too well. There's no way they didn't talk about like, yes, Faye is dead at the start of 2018, but this is what's going on. We'll get to that later, and it ties. Like they had to have had all of this in place. I feel like,
and all the setup in Ragnarok, where we learn more about Faye as a warrior and her fighting Thor. Like,
so, anyways, it's funny because after 2018, when Ragnarok came out, I personally, and I don't think this is a crazy opinion. I think a lot of us were kind of feeling like, okay, this gameplay, this is kind of taking its course. Maybe it's getting a little long in the tooth, or we're kind of, it needs to evolve a little bit more. Let's do something else. And I think the new character, the new realm, the story implications, and the way that Faye moves is so different from
the
Kratos. I'm immediate. I think we're all immediately back in. I'm like, I'm good.
The thing is,
I can do more of this.
I haven't played the original trilogy, but I'm pretty sure her movement in combat is actually pretty similar to old Kratos from the trilogy. So
yeah, just now with the different camera or whatever. So yeah. I don't know, dude. I'm so stoked for this. I was the one thing I will say is we saw so much gameplay. I thought for sure we were going to get a date for this fall.
I know
that was maybe the most.
And now everyone, the entire discourse after this was like, "Oh, it's probably 2 years away or whatever," and that's just not the feeling I got. I feel like if it's not this year, it's next year.
Yeah.
How do you show?
That's too much gameplay.
How do you show 20 minutes of a game at that quality? That's a finished game that they showed. Like
that's what it feels like.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was sure we were going to get a 20 like a December 2026 or like end of this year, and the fact that we didn't makes me think it probably is next year. But I would guess this will be like March, April.
Which again screws me over because I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick this up in Fantasy Critic, finally something, and now I'm like, I don't think I can
put your whole budget behind it, but
yeah,
I don't think it's
so really stoked. The other thing I gotta say, have you seen the key art for this?
No.
The cube is weird. The sword and the ribbon, dude. Is the sword gonna be like Excalibur or something? I don't know. I'm so the multiple mythos of this whole premise, so exciting. The thought of her running into gods that Kratos has killed. There's just so much about this that is just like makes you nerd out.
I personally,
Kratos has sent a lot of people there.
Well, I don't know. I feel like a lot.
I think the cube is awesome. People are complaining, dude. When you look, if you look at the key art, there's clear D&D inspiration.
Yeah,
like this looks like an 80s fantasy book cover art.
Yes,
in the best way. Like I'm so into it.
Yeah. And also, there's clearly going to be story implications about who this cube is that I think will.
And I'm sure the cube will like morph in different ways to like help you or whatever.
There'll be something, but yeah, there's been even people who are really excited about this whole trailer were like, I liked everything, but I didn't love the cube. I feel like that's becoming like.
I thought the cube was fun.
I thought the cube not just fine. I kind of liked it.
I said fun.
Oh, fun.
I thought the cube was fun.
I agree.
Like I'm like, this is whimsical and interesting. And what's the deal with this thing? You know,
totally.
It was one of those things for me. It was
fantasy.
It was a stay off the internet moment for me because when I watched it just by myself with no influence from anyone else, I just loved it and I was like, this is awesome. And then immediately everyone on the internet was like, I hate the cube.
Touch grass and realize that the cube is fun.
It's like, all right, Santa Monica, don't look at the internet either because you're doing good work. Keep it up. All right, we're doing a terrible job pacing wise. Let's move on. I think we kind of agree. I think the state of play was like 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good. I would love to see more first party. Where are some of these studios? But I also think Sony screwed up this generation, and they're behind because these studios were working on things that they canceled. So
based on the major strategical screw up of Sony, I think this is
a
little better than expected. I was worried it was going to be more sparse than this.
So at SGF, IGN screwing me over again. Let's start at the end. We got Final Fantasy VII Revelation. So I'm going to defer to you, Zach, because I'm kind of out. You and Cal can. I don't know if I'm going to play this. And honestly, this looked like more of what we've had. It didn't look great. It just looked like more of what we've played in the end of the story.
It does look like more.
I'm not sure, Zach. Maybe you know, or if there is any sense of this. Is this the final game? Is this going to be the end of the story?
Yeah, this is the end of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which feels like a shame to drop off after the 2 and not end it. But
I may be tricked into playing it again. I just don't want 70 hours of it. I wish they could put this in 20 to 30 hours. I can't do 70 hours of it, man.
It's going to be 70 hours. You just right now.
I told you I'm going to come over and I'm going to make you play it and I'm going to watch you while I kind of do something else.
This is super exciting to me. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time, and the remakes, even though I have some gripes about like the pacing and some of the filler, and some of the story changes in Rebirth that I'm not sure how I feel about, and I'm worried about how they're going to try and stick the landing. Overall, this is one of those worlds and universes, one of those casts of characters, one of the combat systems. This game is one of the few games that sucks me in like no other. despite those issues, I get lost in these games. And both with the old one, I replayed the original game a couple of years ago, and I got lost in it despite it being really dated.
Can you imagine how much you'd get lost in these games if they were more fun to play?
Can you imagine? I completely get lost in the remakes as well, despite my issues with them. So this is huge for me. We knew it was coming, but I was a little worried. Like, it was 4 years between part 1 and 2, so I was a little worried, maybe this is like a 2028 release. But no, it's coming out next year. So
it's impressive that they're wrapping this up in a relatively timely fashion.
Yeah.
I will say it does feel like they started to feel the weight of time passing, and it does feel like Rebirth and Revelation maybe aren't getting as much time to cook as Remake did.
Yeah.
Yes, I
That's
agree.
what I'm feeling a little bit.
I get that sense too. I have some
They're
concerns.
getting a touch rushed.
I have some concerns with the state it's going to release in. I have some concerns with, are they going to be properly able to address the changes they've made narratively with trying to rush it? And now I love the combat. I loved it. I know Rebirth's combat you didn't enjoy as much. I still loved it.
I feel like they added too much. They need to pare it back.
I think I'm still
there's too much tinkering in menus and items, and I was just like, I don't want to deal with all this.
I think I'm still going to love this, but I am curious, like, will this feel like a third game of, like, a lot of the same stuff? And I think there's going to be enough there.
It will, definitely will.
I think there's going to be enough there for me that this will still be a very important game to me, and I think it's necessary to round out the trilogy. But I think getting it, and the fact that we not only got a more extended look at this game, which I didn't love exactly. I feel like they could have done a better job of, like,
the pacing was odd and kind of took some of the steam out, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like they could have presented it a little better. That being said, getting that as the closer and also getting a date, very hyped.
Is it a hard date or a month?
I think
Let me see. It says spring 2027.
Yeah, it was a season. So
it's not a date, it's a season.
I will still take that. I mean, that's still getting...
It'll be out next year.
It'll be out next year, yeah.
Fall at the latest, probably. Okay, from there we got, I think, maybe my announcement of the week, which, well, I guess, no, that would be Laufey. But Stellar Blade Bloodrain. Dude, this trailer goes so hard. Oh my gosh, it just...
I will say...
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
I think maybe the only negative thing for me is I really... The character design, just the character feels like a
For real, I like her better than Eve.
Oh, I like Eve. I miss Eve already.
I miss Eve too, but she looks cool still. But Eve,
it's just what you're into, Calvin. Eve's too bootylicious for me. I like Evie. You know what's weird? How are we going from Eve to Evie?
Yeah,
there better be a story reason. Like, that's so weird.
I'm a little annoyed that the names are so similar because
come on, what are we doing
for a second? But I'm Team Eve if we have to pick. That said, she's a cool. The character design was cool. The world was really cool. Like, I'm still into
the melee combat.
Looks really
the world looks like they're turning it up,
cyberpunk,
dude. They're turning it up. Oh,
genuinely,
so
the like cyberpunk looking city looks like one of the coolest.
Cool.
Visually, one of the coolest sci-fi cities I've ever seen.
Which I love to see because Stellar Blade had some really, really cool art design and locations, but it also had some really bland, ugly locations. And I hope that it looks like they're leaning more into the cool locations, which why would you not do that if you're making a fictional thing? But it just looks so, and then dude, the vibes and the music immediately,
so
I was just like, oh my gosh.
Dude, the music for Stellar Blade is just, it's
well, that's how we
thing.
knew, like, the trailer started and it looked...
I called it early. I did call it pretty early.
I thought too, I was like, this does look like it could be something Stellar Blade, but it was more cyberpunk, and then the music starts kicking in, and it was like, oh, okay, that music is like...
They have something, man. The studio has something.
And
I'm excited to see what a round 2 of this is like.
Playing Stellar Blade 2 years ago and finishing it, we were all like, this was cooler than expected. I kind of remember I was like, this is probably like 8 out of 10 territory. The longer I get away from this, the more that game sticks with me across a lot of different areas. To the point where, like, I think Stellar Blade, it's kind of surprising.
Of Tsushima type of,
it's like a really highly anticipated IP for me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking about it because it's only been 2 years, so I wasn't really expecting anything. So to get that cool of a trailer, even though we're still probably a couple of years out, like...
That was the only bummer for me, is I in my mind I had thought Stellar Blade was farther back, and so I was like, oh, could this be this year? Could this be next year? And then, everyone's like, no, this is a ways off, and I was like,
this is 2028 at the earliest.
Dang it.
But for me, it's like it's the Saros Returnal thing where I'm like, I am so eager to see what the studio can do. That's the Saros to the Returnal we just played. Like,
I hope
what
they
is
get,
what is the level up?
We had some complaints here and there, like critiques of some of the mechanics or some of these various things that I can totally see them like dialing in and making this like this series like a 9, like making this an all-time series.
Yeah.
Your audio is muffled a little bit. I don't know what might have happened there, but
weird. Try and unmuffle.
Maybe that's all it was. From there, we got my other 1.0 top tier announcement of the week, which was Palworld finally coming to 1.0, which again, we've been waiting also for 2 years on that.
Yeah.
I think we all lost a week or two, like legitimately lost a week or two to Palworld. Mm-hmm. And then I put it down and I was like, I will see you again in 1.0. And here we are finally in, what is it, August? Let me see. July 10th. Oh, crap. That's actually a good month for that to happen, though, because July is a little more chill.
The
Palworld and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. The prospect of going and rebuilding my home again, my farm of Pals and
Palworld's so good. I'm so excited to jump in and kind of see what it's like in 1.0 after 2 years. So we got I don't think this is our first look. Maybe it is our first look at Clutch, which is the racing game I believe you were referencing earlier.
Yes.
And I think it looks really cool.
I was curious.
I think it looks Clutch, yeah.
I was curious what you guys were thinking of this because I hadn't heard yet. And
dude, it looks
for some reason, I wasn't sure if you'd be into it, but it looks awesome.
It's from some devs that previously worked on some of the Forza games, I think. Yeah. And they've clearly branched off. And the racing, the world, the graphics all look amazing. But what really, for me... Yeah, what really is doing it for me is I've never really given it much thought. But dude, a racing game with an actual like Sony or just high quality story and characters and plot. Yeah. Let's do that. Please be good. Because that would be so cool to add some like emotional weight or stakes to certain races or moments. Yeah. I hope they can pull it off. I think that would be so cool.
It's one of those where if it can live up to what I am imagining, I mean it's going to be very good. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
if it
thought.
can pull it off. Spring 2027.
I would love a good story to accompany it, and like I'm enjoying Forza. I've been playing that off and on, but like it's not really a story.
And it's something that hasn't been serviced. We have not gotten a really good story racing game, and I'd love to see it pulled off so that maybe people go, hey, people like story racing. Like let's build racing games that also have a narrative to them. Yeah. Because we just don't have those. So, speaking of which, we got the new Hot Wheels game, which looked kind of mid to me. I don't know. Monster Hunter Wilds DLC, Blood of the Dawn Walker, Star Wars Zero Company.
Blood of the Dawn Walker I'm kind of intrigued by, but I worry it's going to just not be good.
I thought it didn't look very good personally. But...
I'm mildly intrigued. Gen Atlas, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, well, you're going out of order for me, but let me... Okay. Yeah, we'll do Gen Atlas. This game looks so cool. Again, it just was one of those where it's like, man, we did get to see more this time around, so that's nice. But the gameplay looked rough, like 10 frames a second. It looked choppy.
Yeah, and it might just be really, but
I hope it's polished at launch because this looks so cool. I'm so in on the artistic style of this game. Yeah, looks so cool because it looks like Shadow of the Colossus but sci-fi, and I'm like, yes, let's sign me up for that.
Let's do that. Yeah, that was super cool.
It still feels like it's really far away. That's the only negative of that. Is just like, is this still 3 years away? Like,
probably.
We keep getting more Lords of the Fallen 2 looks, which I feel like we've seen this too many times, and they keep saying it's coming out later this year with no date. It's kind of a weird one. I'm excited for it. Yeah. I just don't know, like, when is it coming? We'll see.
Yeah. I am really excited.
They really polished up Lords of the Fallen, the first game, into something special, and I hope they can continue that momentum and have a good launch.
We had some definite criticisms of the first game, but overall it was incredible. And I'm really excited for, maybe if they can polish up on some of those critiques and just, I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's see, some other things to call out. Guild Wars 3 was interesting to me. The only bummer about that is, again, it's probably who knows how many years away. They said fall 2027. I don't think they hit that. But I'm really intrigued at the reimagining of Guild Wars because it's not a thing I've ever played. But this art style and the way it looked visually really appealed to me.
If they could pull that off, kind of cool.
if they could pull that off as an entry point into a new MMO and it looks like this, I could be severely down for that. So, I mean, something to keep my eyes on, I guess. Crossfire, I thought showed really well. I was really impressed at Crossfire.
The writing and like characters were really compelling right up, because at first it was like, oh, this looks more like Call of Duty.
It looks like
style,
a Call of Duty,
military,
like Modern Warfare type of thing. I was like, I'm out. Yeah.
But there's like a sci-fi angle to it, which is definitely more intriguing to me. But then what really sold me was like the character and dialogue felt really good, to the point where I'm like, okay, I would be down to follow these two and see what's going on, you know?
It felt like there was a lot of quality and attention put into the characters, the writing, the plot. There's some sci-fi intrigue, and then also the fact that this is a single-player story game. I was like, okay, this looks really polished and really interesting, and something is on my radar now. I don't think we didn't get any sort of window or anything, I don't think, on that. So that one's probably a year or two away.
Yeah, it's probably a ways out.
Let me scroll through here. Anything else that stands out? We talked about Gen Atlas. Alien Isolation 2. I mean, I've never played the first one, but if it's kind of a Dead Space thing, maybe I'm interested in that. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got the Cuphead announcement, which was kind of a catch-22, where it was really exciting, but also like, how far away is it? Because it was just like, it's happening.
Yeah.
The little bonus is they're making an 8-bit other small Cuphead game, which is cool. I don't know if I'll end up playing that, but
it's kind of neat. I mean, I will say it's disappointing to not get anything on Cuphead 2 other than, hey, we're working on it. But it is cool they have a little something to throw to the Cuphead fans. I don't know.
I'm really glad they're doing it, though, because there's a chance there was no Cuphead 2, and I'm glad we live in a world where there is going to be a Cuphead 2, because there's nothing like Cuphead. Like, I said Cuphead weird because I was going to say 2, but...
You know, I wasn't going to call you on it, but
there's nothing like Cuphead.
I'm glad you took a minute to acknowledge you're wrong.
Cuphead. Here we love Cuphead. Let's finish with Resident Evil Veronica, because you got all giddy.
You missed the opening.
No, it was at the end of the IGN article. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the last one.
But it was at the opening,
which ironically they opened with. Oh, maybe they did this backwards. Is that what I'm doing here? That might have been exactly what this is.
Maybe that's what they did.
From back to front.
Veronica.
So as our Resident Evil insane person who played all of them in a week.
Yeah. So for those who aren't aware, I had no experience with Resident Evil.
He went into a coma.
I wanted to play 9. I sort of went into a coma for February. I played Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, 4 Remake, and then I played Resident Evil 9, February into March. So I haven't played all of the Resident Evils, but I played enough. And I especially loved 4 and 9. 2 was also really good. 3 was decent. And I gotta say, it's impressive that Capcom is somehow on a schedule where they're releasing a new.
They're insane. They're outpacing Insomniac.
Mainline game or like a remake of some kind every like 1 to 2 years, and they're all really good. Like
I don't think anyone is putting out the amount or the quality that Capcom is doing
Resident
right now.
Evil
It's
3
really
remake
crazy.
Is not quite as good as the others, and that's kind of seen as like a blip. But this looks great. So the thing with Veronica, Code Veronica is a game that came out I think in '99 or 2000. And the control scheme was difficult. There's a lot of it's a really janky game, and it's hard to play in the modern age for anyone who didn't play it back in the day. And so I decided to wait on a remake for that one. And but that's also like a very beloved entry in the franchise. So I'm excited to see what all the hype's about, because I love the franchise now. This is a beloved entry in it that everyone's wanted a remake of for forever, and we're getting it. And we got a date. That was the other thing, is like seeing something like that opening cinematic. I was like, oh, cool. This is going to be like 2028 maybe, and then they said it's early next year, and it's like, okay, awesome. And because it's Capcom and like how consistent they've been for the past closing in on a decade with all of the Resident Evil properties pretty much, as well as other things like Pragmata, like they've just been killing it. So Pragmata. I have high confidence that this will be a good game. And I mean,
with the amount they're cranking these out, and the fact that they're campy and actiony and they have the fun elements to them. They're less. Some of these seem less spooky. I know that like 8 and some of them are, but these ones, the 2, the 4, the 9, and now this one, there's a non-0% chance that I need to get to these if I can. We'll see.
Yeah. Super hyped. Yeah, I think for me.
Okay, so that was SGF,
me, and the reason SGF is probably the one I would pick, gun to my head, is because Veronica with a date, Final Fantasy VII with a date, and showing off a little bit of the game, and then the Stellar Blade kind of surprise trailer. those three, and there's other cool stuff in there.
I feel like it's easy to give SGF a 9 as well. I feel like legitimately, I would probably give each of these showcases a 9.
I would agree. Xbox as well. They're all like a 9. Yeah, and Nintendo is a -9.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so from there, let's move on to Xbox and try and wrap this up. But Xbox, again, like we just mentioned, had kind of a 9 situation as well. We got... I guess we'll go in the order here. Let me see if I go to the bottom. Is it the first? Yeah, I'm going to go from the bottom because they seem to have done this the other way. They showed off Gears of War E-Day. It looked visually good, but it didn't really sell me on Gears of War as someone who doesn't play Gears of War. I don't know about you guys. Did you watch?
I did. Gears of War has just never quite been, it's like adjacent to things I like, but I've never... Maybe I just didn't get into it at the right time. I would agree. Visually, it looks really good. And there were a couple of like alien designs that were actually kind of cool. But some of the alien designs feel kind of like generic. So it's kind of like this mixed bag. I don't know if it's going to be something that I actually look into playing. I think it's exciting because a lot of people love it. It is a big title, and it does.
I thought it looked good.
But
I just didn't really appeal to me. It didn't make me go, oh, maybe this is where I need to get in. I did play like a few hours of one of the Gears of War games from like 5 years ago, and I just kind of was like, eh.
I've heard that one's like kind of seen as not quite as good anyway, but I had the same experience. I tried to play it and it was just... So
we got another trailer for Fable, which I feel like we didn't need to see again, but it was a really
This was a
trailer.
better trailer though. I feel
this
like
was probably one of the best trailers they've had.
My excitement for Fable has been more predicated on what it used to be, and this trailer kind of hit more of the mark of like, okay, there's
the direction of this, like whoever directed this and wrote it, it was like, dang, that was kind of masterfully directed. The way that this villain is giving a speech and she's the hero, and it was just really compelling. I was like, dang, this game seems like it's shaping up to be what Xbox needs. Like maybe their biggest game, which ironically I don't believe it's going to be exclusive. They probably should have done that.
I would imagine they couldn't get out of it not being exclusive
maybe.
At this point. But.
It looks like it's a God of War-esque like quality type of game that Xbox has needed as an exclusive to compel people to join their ecosystem. But anyways, looks
very
dope.
Excited for Fable.
Again, pushed to 27 is what it is. Kind of a bummer for me because I had to drop it. That sucks.
I know.
Halo campaign evolved. So these are DLC to Halo Infinite, I believed.
No, I think this is a remake of the original Halo campaign, and then they also added in. Pretty sure. Then they also added in some additional.
These missions look sick.
They do.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never cared about Halo, but I was watching this and I'm like, this is giving me some like Destiny campaign vibes that I'm like kind of in for.
The original Halo is really cool. I didn't own it as a kid, but I played enough of it at like friends' houses that like I've never played a Halo, but this caught my attention, and there's a chance that I would play this actually. I actually think I'm going to this is a modernized remake of the original Halo Combat Evolved, and then they also added in some additional like missions, new content to like kind of.
I swear they said they were missions. Okay, that I must have misunderstood.
That's added
that
to
portion.
the actual.
So they're adding new content to the remake.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty exciting.
Cool. Yeah, it looks really cool in my opinion. It's the coolest Halo thing I've seen as a non-Halo fan in a decade. So
yeah, I'm hyped for that.
Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy. I think this might have been my surprise of the Xbox showcase.
Yeah.
What A Plague Tale as an IP continues to surprise me.
I will say I don't understand what the IP is, but it looks
me
really
neither.
neat.
This does not look like a Plague Tale game at all. It looks freaking cool though.
It's A Plague's Tale: Assassin's Origin.
Assassin's Origin
like.
Legacy,
Assassin's
dude.
Gladiator,
I don't know, dude. This looks really good, and it's coming out in August.
Yeah.
Right? August 27th. So, yeah. I've been curious about the other Plague Tale games, but they've also it feels like they've been kind of emerging from the primordial soup of AA. And like this looks like a premier AAA title. I don't know if it will deliver, but like the other games didn't really have combat, and this looks like an Assassin's Creed narrative, but like really well done and intriguing world. I don't know. I was like, holy crap.
I walked away from this like, I'm going to keep an eye on that. Like, I'm interested.
It was confusing as a Plague Tale game, but like
it's confusing from like what even is a Plague's Tale. To be fair, I haven't played either of those games, so there might be a through line. It's all just same universe, I
guess. I don't know.
Maybe it's just like the historical settings that they take place in somehow. Yeah. But yeah, that looks cool.
This might have been my game of the show that was like didn't know what was happening and really showed well and really impressed me.
Yeah.
Sorry, Calvin. I guess can you at least pull these up on your thing to be like referencing?
Yeah,
we'll just tell you a story about.
I'm kind of just listening because I didn't get to watching the.
Well, the problem with that is we don't even get to have you as a viewer. You know, this is really hurting our numbers.
You have to go back and watch. Yeah, you're one of our 3 viewers.
I do. Right.
We got the Persona was a big one, which I'm not a Persona guy, but getting I believe we got a date February for Persona 4 Revival, and then the teaser for Persona 6, which was a really weird teaser.
It was a weird teaser, which I
guess it was like an if you know you know kind of thing. For me, it didn't do anything, but
I think it's just that it's Persona. I think people are just like there's enough that it's happening. Faith in
it. Just
Persona.
Was the vibes were weird. It's not what I expected
it was like
from Persona.
Neon green. It was like a weird green color. Yeah, I don't know,
but also like creepy and like tombstones and
it was odd. I will say Persona is one of those things that like I still want to try and get into, and I think I'm going to try them again at some point.
It's too much, dude. I can't do it.
I think I'm going to try.
I tried to play 5 a few times, and it just
there are aspects I like about it.
Would you rather replay Persona 5 forever or Final Fantasy Rebirth?
Oh, Persona, because I'm sure I could. I think Persona's a good game. It's just not my kind of game. I think Rebirth is not a great game in a lot of ways. It's a great game in some ways. Come at me. I don't know.
We're not.
Come at me, internet.
We don't have time
Senua,
to be derailed right now.
I know. We can't get into this. Calvin, what are you doing? We got a new Senua game, which I just feel like who's asking for these? I don't like the Senua.
I know everything. Every time I hear people are like, I don't really know if I want another one. It visually looks like technically the visuals look good, but it's kind of like I don't want to play it, so I don't know.
Well, and everything I heard from the last Senua that they released was everyone was like, it looks great, but it's kind of a walking sim, and there's not really much great gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do they keep cranking out these really expensive, high-fidelity Senua games that don't have great gameplay and from what I hear, haven't sold very well? Like, I don't understand
How's
the
there
numbers.
A third one? Yeah. Someone backing this project really likes it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is a group of quiet players who love it.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of quiet people on the internet. Or maybe they're not on the internet. I don't know. Yeah. We got Doom the Dark Ages DLC, Crazy Taxi World Tour.
Doom the Dark Ages DLC I'm excited for.
Really?
I want to go at...
Did you even finish the game? You never finished the game.
I didn't have to. I had a busy summer. I started playing that right before summer.
You can't be excited for your DLC until you finish the main game.
Finish your main game first. I will say, though, Doom the Dark Ages, while it wasn't like... There were some other better games that year. The gameplay in Doom the Dark Ages is so fun and so arcadey, and it's just like this heavy, crunchy, dark fantasy, like smashing your shield into monsters and like cool guns, very arcadey. It's epic set pieces. Like, it was really cool to the point where I keep thinking I need to go back and finish that because I want to experience the full campaign. I'll probably just replay it. It's not that long, I don't think. And the DLC looks really quality too. Like, I actually think you would probably enjoy it too. Like, the gameplay was legitimately
I don't know. I played the first hour of Dark Ages and was just kind of it didn't pull me in.
Dang. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm hyped for that.
Cool. We got this was really cool. The Xbox Series X 25th anniversary edition. Really cool. I love when they do that. The only thing that drives me nuts, I don't care because I'm not going to buy. It'll be $1,000 and it'll be hard to get and it'll be scalped.
Yeah,
That's
it'll be like when Sony did the throwback and there was like 1,000.
It'd be cool if everyone could just get one, but
right.
It's
and
not like
honestly,
that.
If this was accessible and not $1,000, I'd consider it. Like, I don't even like Xbox that much, and it's really neat. Also, can we make more consoles like this? Can I get a Steam Deck that's like that? Can I? Well, I can't afford it anymore. But can I?
Yeah, I know. The problem is hardware's in such a crap state right now that like making fun little interesting additions is like
too expensive.
That's why this was cool. Is that feels like a thing of the past because hardware's has hit the fan. Like,
can you imagine though, like a transparent teal Steam Deck or like a transparent you know,
I can't imagine that.
Whatever PS5, like it sounds so neat. I would get all of them if I could afford it, which I can't.
Yeah. We got a date for Valor Mortis, which you guys probably don't know anything about, but it is one I'm actually interested in. It's a first-person Souls-like game.
Yeah, it looks great.
And it looks really cool. Coming September 24th. I'm actually kind of stoked on that.
I'm actually
Castlevania.
Kind of
you like that too? Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, just from the trailer and what I've heard since then. But first-person Souls-like, it looks quality.
Castlevania Belmont's Curse, I thought looked really good.
I'm kind of growing on that. Like that looks like a solid.
I thought the art style looked really good.
The gameplay looks pretty fun too.
Yeah, looks like a good Metroidvania, and that had a date for October 15th. So
yeah,
we'll find out soon. Persona 6, and then the other big one for me, Spyro, actually happening. Yeah. Toys for Bob, really cool. I'd love it to be Crash because I think Crash 4 was so good, but. Also, I really liked this trailer. I thought this showed well. I thought it was very like a real trailer, like just gameplay. I liked the vibes of it. Obviously, a lot of flying. Kind of feels like they're evolving the Spyro. Like that was obviously the case in the original games, but a little more limited by hardware. And now they can really kind of
lean into Spyro.
Go hard, lean into the flying around and stuff, and the boosting and the mechanics of that.
Yeah.
So really stoked. Was this year? No, spring 27.
Next year. But I'm excited, like, again, to the mascot platformer thing. Like, it's so nice to see a big name mascot platformer, like, that was one of the highlights of the show.
That's a huge takeaway, that we're getting a new remake of Rayman and a brand new Spyro game in 2026. I'd love to see publishers lean into the mascots.
If that does well again, maybe Insomniac, maybe that'll be enough for Sony and Insomniac to be like, hey, maybe we should
do
dust
some
off the old Ratchet, break him and Clank out of the closet, and shake him, dust him off, and
they're tight. They're tight in the closet, and Spider-Man's guarding the door.
Yeah.
You've never played a Spyro, have you, Calvin?
No, I don't think I have.
It was before your time.
That's one I missed out on.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad it's happening. I'm glad it's Toys for Bob too. Toys for Bob.
Too.
I'm glad they're still around as a studio because they've done such good work. Yeah, they got kind of like moved around.
I'm glad they're alive.
Yeah, I'm glad they're around making Spyro.
Those types of games, like that's the fact that 1, we're getting this, 2, it looks good, and 3, that it is Toys for Bob is like, that really is great.
The last one here is Clockwork Revolution, which is our second showing of that. It is coming some point in 2027, and it is a console exclusive to Xbox, which is a very confusing phrase they used for this in Gears of War, but I think it's still coming to Steam. So, that's what it means. It means it's just not coming to PlayStation or Switch. The only console it will be on is Xbox, which is fine because I have a PC. It doesn't matter to me. I thought this was a worse showing of Clockwork Revolution. It still looks like a really cool game. I just didn't love this trailer showing, but really, again, 9 out of 10. I just thought this was a really good showcase as well. I think all 3 of the main SGF week did a great job, and all 3 had things that made their showcase worth existing in its own right.
Yeah,
very well balanced from this past week. So
2 more quick things in the Xbox showcase that were interesting. One, Vivarium looked kind of cool to me. Like, it's not my normal type of game, but
I couldn't remember what that was, so I didn't.
That is like the anime art style, where it's like kind of a peaceful life sim game, like in an old school 80s anime art style, and then it zooms out and they're inside this little like terrarium, and I'm
gonna have to rewatch the trailer on that. I don't remember that at all, and it didn't like show a picture here on this list I have.
I don't know if the gameplay will be something that I ultimately is my type of gameplay, but I was intrigued by the premise. The art style was beautiful. It just, something about it caught my eye.
Yeah, Life Sim's definitely not my.
And I don't know if that's what the gameplay is. It's just, it felt like a peaceful slice of life, like anime, and then it like there's like an extra element. So I'm kind of interested in that. One other thing that looked really interesting was Magicians: The Devil's Deal, which is like a new IP where you're like a. It's like a magician, but it's like
why was that not listed here? That actually looked like BioShock.
It looked like BioShock, but you're like and you have like your wand, which is like doing abilities, but there's like the enemies.
That actually showed. That was actually one of the games of the show. I felt like it looked phenomenal and looked like hey, yes. BioShock has been reborn in 2026.
That's what it felt like. Because when it started,
which is funny because Judas has gone completely MIA, and there was rumored another BioShock game in development, and those are just gone. And here we have this game, and it's like, all right, well, I guess this is BioShock now.
I'm okay with it. This looked intriguing.
Yeah.
And it started by showing like you're going into the magic show, and I was like, oh, weird, like a magician game sounds kind of dumb. And then it starts like the cinematic, and the cinematic was like interesting, but I was like, okay, well, I don't even know what the gameplay would look like. And then the gameplay starts, and it's BioShock, but you have like a magician's wand, and it's going crazy.
It's 100% BioShock. Yeah.
I was like, okay, totally. And the transition from cinematic into the gameplay was really good too. Like, I walked away from that like I never would have thought I was interested in that, and I'm actually low key pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so we'll see. Agree. I don't know why that. I must have missed it, but it didn't seem like it was listed here. Come on, IGN, what are you doing? Okay, we're going too long, but let me also shout out just a couple things from like I'll take 3 minutes here from the what the frick is this called? The Day of the Devs. Actually had some good stuff in it. I will shout out first of all we have a release date for Screenbound, which is the one where you're like holding a Game Boy and operating in 2D, but also you can see 3. It's like 2D, 3D at the same time.
Think about it, but very
crazy
creative
concept, but everyone says it's really cool, and I'm actually really intrigued by this. It feels like a new idea. And that's coming out September 10th, so that's cool. We got a release date for
September.
That. Yeah, I know, dude. There's legitimately like 30 games of note coming out in September. Apple Crumble is like a murder mystery with a cozy art style that looked really quaint and kind of fun. Slap Out of It is a like slapstick humor game where your only action is slapping things, which I don't have a great track record with because the other game that did that was Thank Goodness You're Here, and I did not like that. But this looked really funny, and also kind of like it had point to click puzzle things where you're like trying to do things, slap things in a certain order to complete puzzles and move forward in the game, and I really liked that. It kind of had a Rick and Morty aesthetic to it. Super Ukulele Kart. Ukulele's a crazy IP, man. They're just doing whatever, but I'm not gonna lie, this art style is a very HD 2D art style. The kart racing, this is a kart racer, actually looked good, and they kept talking about during the whole thing that this is a technical kart racer, like with a skill ceiling, and I was like, interesting. It looked fun. It actually looked fun to play. Prove You're Human is a really intriguing like horror puzzle narrative game where you're like completing captchas and trying to prove this like giant robot head that it's not human. It's a very weird game, hard to explain. Looks really intriguing though. Really interesting. Lazy River is a friend slop type game coming next year, co-op, where you are basically on a raft floating down an endless lazy river where if you pee in the water, I did this wrong. It's on a space station with space water, and if you pee in the space water, everyone starts turning into zombies, and so now you're fighting off hordes of zombies on your lazy river raft, and it just looks like a crazy fun co-op game that like I'm actually kind of like,
silly,
I think it would be really fun if we could all jump into this.
Couple of afternoons or something.
Yeah,
Hearing
for sure.
you explain that feels far more confusing than I'm sure the video was.
No, in the video he says you're on a space station with special space water that is also a water park, and if you pee in the special space water, it goes back up into you and you turn into a zombie.
Okay,
Levi missed that key detail.
Yeah, if it goes back up in you, I forgot.
Now it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Dreadmore looks like a 3D dredge, which
Dreadmore
actually
looks kind of
really cool.
Actually,
looks really cool.
I'm a little intrigued by that.
Supposed to be coming later this year. And then the last one I'll shout out is Threads of Time, which is another HD 2D game that looks like it's a spiritual successor to Live Alive, which is basically a game where you are going throughout time. Like think you're in prehistoric times, then you're in cyberpunk times, and you have this party, and there's this narrative throughout it, and it looks really cool, even though those don't tend to be my types of games. The premise of the Empire Earth premise of like starting through is cool.
Yeah.
So
I was intrigued by that as well.
I could get it. I could get down with that.
Same.
Yeah. So overall, just like a really solid. Again, I felt like it was missing some of the like crazy stuff that would really get me going. But as you go through it one by one, it's like this was a really, really solid SGF week.
Yeah.
Darn near E3. And Nintendo
E3,
really
broken up into pieces. Nintendo
capped it with
does
a
their
pile of
stupid
crap.
stuff, but despite Nintendo flubbing it a little bit, so much is coming out across everything, including Nintendo, but mostly across everything else. But again, like Laufey, Rayman, Tomb Raider, Lost Wild, Control Resonant, Until Dawn, Veronica, Final Fantasy Revelation, BloodRayne, Gen Atlas, Pal World. Like, what do we?
I just wish that we had more games. I just don't know if there's enough games.
Yeah, again, like next year's going to be insane. Now, not all of those are coming next year.
Next year's going to be insane.
Like half of those are coming next year.
This year sucks.
This year it's crazy because like last year was like, I felt like it was going to be one of the best years, and then this year feels like it was better, and next year feels like it could be better, and
kind of leaves me wondering when will I feel like we're watching the oversaturation of video games. We've been watching that for a few years now. Yeah. When does that bubble burst and we start actually getting less games because good games are just not making enough money? I don't know. Feels like we've got to be heading there. We've got to be close to that.
I think
there's
for
too many
larger
games.
Scale games,
there's amazing games that have come out this year that I can't get to physically because I don't have time.
I know, same.
It's crazy. So,
same.
Anyways, that was SGF. The thing that we also wanted to discuss in this incredibly long bonus sensual podcast is Destiny, because today marks a somber day in the history of Destiny. That is the final update for Destiny 2. And man, you guys both muted and it's really quiet. It's freaking me out.
I'm not muted.
Oh, okay. It got really quiet there for a second.
I feel like maybe Riverside is doing like the audio, like
canceling or something.
Quality, noise canceling or something. Because I've noticed that a couple times where I'm talking and then everything goes like fully silent and I get self-conscious.
It was feeling really somber. Everything got really quiet. No, it's the fun. And the weight of what's happening today. No, it's sad. It's really sad because it feels like the culmination of both Bungie and Sony having unequivocally just horrible trash leadership for the last 5, 6, 7 years. And it's all led to this moment where somehow Destiny is ending with no more Destiny on the horizon. How do we get here? It's insane. We're planning to hop on and play some Destiny for old time's sake tonight. And it sounds like there's a not insignificant amount of people that are going to do the same. There's like a petition for Destiny 3 that's like over 400,000 signatures. I was talking to Emily about this earlier today. I don't know that it matters. We're gonna throw our 2 cents in and show some support. But it feels like today being the final update for Destiny 2 is the symptom of something that died a long time ago. Yeah, and can't be corrected today. You know, Sony can't go, "Oh, people love Destiny, make more like that should have happened 2 years ago, a year ago," and we're at the point now where it's too late to course correct, is what it feels like, which is really sad. It feels
like that. It feels like
it's really sad because Destiny didn't need to die, and it's just, why are the stupid people in charge? It's crazy.
I know. I agree. I think this is a bad sign, it feels crazy to think that Marathon will be enough to carry even a reduced size Bungie, and it won't. Kind of feels like the writing on the wall for Bungie. Kind of
the most likely outcome is a year or two from now Bungie's closed as a studio, which is insane for a studio that was purchased for $3.6 billion 2 or 3 years ago.
It feels like they've made the decision to write off their losses and try and recoup what they can from Marathon, eke out whatever's left of that, scrap them, sell them for parts, maybe layoffs, mix some of those people in somewhere else in Sony, probably a lot of layoffs. But it's a shame, and I hope the signal shows something, but like you said, this feels like it's years ago. Like this happened, the actual death happened years ago. It's just this is the final, hurrah. And maybe there'll be talent that leaves Bungie who sees these signals
I know,
that are able to start something, and like we'll see
they'll
some
make a different
IP,
but it's like that's such a
but it's kind of like, it's the end of an era. Destiny was so perfect for what it is. They always had issues,
and there's nothing like it. For everything that we hated about Destiny and everything everyone complained about it, there is nothing like Destiny. It's like it became its own sci-fi console version of WoW. It really did. And it's just mind-boggling for it to have been so mismanaged that here we are. Like literally, when Final Shape ended, if anyone with any competence were in charge, what you should have done, drop the 2, cut off the 2, say we're rebranding. This is Destiny. We're bringing in. We're gonna. You know what? Hey, here's some of the stuff from Destiny 1. We've repolished it up. This is just going to be Destiny going forward, and we're going to continue to make this game to the end of time.
Yeah, you now have,
and you set the new storyline.
Destiny, you have access to all of this content now, and we're going to release more Destiny in the future.
Jeez.
You know, we're going to, you know, that'll keep you going until we release more Destiny content 1 or 2 years down the line or something.
Yeah.
Like, people would have stayed.
Man, leadership got so bad because like early Destiny was I loved when it was an expansion. You paid for the expansion.
Me too.
You played it. You played the raid. And then you continued to play Destiny, or you fell off until there was another expansion. That is a profitable IP and business model, but it wasn't profitable enough apparently. And ever since Destiny 2 changed to the season model and the Eververse, it's been a worse game. Mm-hmm. And it's been on the decline since then. And then I think too of the way they started to piecemeal everything off, that even myself, who loves Destiny, misses Destiny, wanted to play more. Every time I would come back and take a look at the way that they chopped up every little bit of content and what I had to buy to start playing, it was just infuriating. There's no entry point.
It was a headache to know what you had access to, and then you felt like you're being nickel and dimed left and right for every little sliver. And a lot of the content you were being nickel and dimed for are things like, I feel like I had that 3 years ago, and now it was a mess because I had
and then adding to the frustration is the fact that Sony purchased Bungie to be the live service gurus, and at the time we all went, they're not good at live service. Yeah, they have a good IP. People love Destiny. Yeah, they love the expansions. But as soon as it became more of a live service game, it was a worse. Like they don't even do it well from a monetary standpoint. I don't think. I can't imagine the Eververse is that successful. It was not an intriguing shop. I play games all the time where I'm like, I have to resist spending money. Trust me, Bungie, the Eververse was not one of those.
They never got it. They never got there.
It boggles my mind that Sony looked at that and took the wrong lessons and said, hey, can you shepherd all of our live service games? And we all went, they're not even good at. That's the worst. That's what they're worst at.
That's like, I don't know. That's like buying a Lamborghini and being like, I bought this for the air conditioner and the radio.
I bought this so that I can pick up the couch that I need to like.
Right,
what?
yeah. It's like, what do you, and then they scrap it. And it's like,
yeah, because it's fast. I need to get this couch somewhere fast. Yeah, but you can't fit a couch in there. I don't know what this analogy is, but it's just like that is the competency of the people in charge, because
like, what Destiny had was like the best shooting you'll ever play. The best first person shooting mixed with an MMO style world, incredible raids, incredible
cooperative
art design,
raids and art direction.
All of these things, and it's like Sony was like, you know what they have that no one else has?
The Eververse.
Live service.
The season pass model.
They're one of the worst at that, and they squandered them. Plus Bungie leadership really ruined this whole IP, which sucks because like it's still, I think, had they made some of these decisions to try and fix it a year, 2 years ago, I feel like they could have fixed it. They could have turned it around. Now, leadership needed to have something in place and working on it as the final shape launched, or right before. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they launched the final shape and had zero direction for where things were going after that, how can you be surprised that the player base falls off? And like it's just, and what's crazy to me is that Destiny in its dead form has still had more of a player base than Marathon. Marathon looks like a good game for all intents and purposes, but it's a niche game. I love the art direction. I love Bungie. I'm never going to play Marathon. And that's most people. I think they just thought too much of this as our next game, and it's like they didn't stop to think that no matter how good, because I agree Marathon looks good for what it is. Visually, it's really cool. Like I would love to play a game with some of the art direction or whatever, but like I'm not huge on extraction shooters, and there's only so many extraction shooters anyone has time to play, and it's just like a crazy thing to bank on, and especially with the player count.
I think what it is that I think both Sony and Bungie leadership have made awful decisions, but I think ultimately it comes down to the leadership at Bungie, and I forget the names of the people who've left that were in charge, but I think they sold Sony a fool's gold. I think they sold Sony fool's gold, and they said, look at Destiny, look at what we can do. We can help you with live service, and also we've got Marathon. It's going to be huge. And then ever since, as soon as they got the money from Sony, I think leadership at Bungie was 1 foot out the door, and they just and they made everything just
they made their tens of millions
crashed
of dollars
from there,
and they're like, I'm gonna go enjoy my yacht.
And devs have come out from Bungie saying, like, you won't believe the things that aren't in Destiny that we kept trying to get leadership to greenlight, and they wouldn't do it.
It really feels like
it just feels like they milked it to death, and it's like even the bare minimum of caring about Bungie or Destiny or competence at all would have kept Destiny alive. And it's just, it's so infuriating when people are in charge that care so little, but also I guess they were just gone because they like money, but they had their money, they were done. So I don't know.
They're just trying not to rock the boat, trying to keep whatever stipulations need to be hit for them to get their golden parachutes. It feels like that's kind of where they got to with it. And I mean, it's sad too, because you can see the love for Destiny in like the lower levels of the team, which is why it still has good elements. And I think why we're seeing like
and the community
this last hurrah of trying to like have here's a final update with some content. Like it sucks because I think
when games are announced to be dead or that they're ending, 99% of the time people, even if they care, they're like, oh, that sucks. They don't sign a 500,000 people don't sign a petition or say we're all logging in on the lot.
I re-downloaded Destiny 2 for the first time.
I know, and it's like 100 gigs. We all downloaded it.
I downloaded it a week ago in preparation, downloaded the update this morning, and we're going to hop on and spend a couple hours.
Insanity.
I have a million other things to do in life, and I'm going to spend a couple hours on this because that's how I feel about it too. Like, that says something.
And there's a lot of people that feel that way. It's crazy business. I just don't understand.
I'm actually depressed thinking about it. We're
somehow,
be tonight.
Amidst the chaos of the gaming industry, it feels like one of the saddest things.
I know,
which is so funny when we hated the live service push, thought it was the stupidest thing, told Sony stop making live service, and the one live service we want, they're also canceling.
I know.
It's
they can't even cancel their mistake right.
They can't even cancel the right thing. I don't know.
I know.
The other thing that gets me,
it's probably more complicated than that, because if the Bungie leadership is truly out, and so like Sony,
the thing is the talent's probably gone too at this point.
I think a lot of the,
because I was trying to think, okay, this is the last update. People are signing petitions. People are logging in. Let's say that Sony sees an insane amount of support for Destiny, and they kind of go, man, we might actually need to rethink this. What is the best case scenario? The best case scenario is that Sony puts the resources behind Bungie for them to continue developing Destiny 2. Destiny 3 is screwed. It'd be too far away. Mm-hmm. They literally just have to be like, all right, we're working on an expansion for next year, and we're going to keep doing Destiny. That's the best case scenario. I could see that as a 2% possibility. The problem is, who's left at Bungie at this point? We don't know. I'm betting Bungie is hollow from the inside out after the last 2 years since the final shape and leadership left, and everything's been a disaster.
I think that's
is there enough talent at Bungie that it's still Bungie anymore?
It's probably too much of a skeleton crew to like get that out. Morale's probably not great, and maybe it's salvageable with the right people, but I feel like Bungie leadership is stepping out, and they're not it. I feel like the Sony leadership, even though they're trying to right the ship, they're not the people who
Sony would have to come out and say, we're backing Destiny. If you are out there and you still are looking for work and you were with Bungie, or like try and regather the troops.
Right.
It's just like a 1%. It just
be a Hail Mary.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I would love to see it, but
very sad. Tonight. I don't know when. It's hard to envision another Destiny existing because
it's one of those
AAA is kind of dying.
Yeah.
People aren't putting that much money behind things anymore. It really feels like AAA is dying, and the future of games are these 30-person, 1-person teams making games at this point. Mm-hmm. And so, unless you already have the ball rolling, the inertia of a Destiny, to start a Destiny from scratch right now feels impossible in the current economic environment. So, sad. We're all sad. We're commemorating Destiny. We're going to go play some and see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if anyone can be loud enough to fix this, but everyone's trying.
It's worth a try, Yeah. And if nothing else, at least it's a bit of a send-off for the players to like get to hop in, do a couple of things, mess around,
Do you guys have a favorite Destiny moment that comes to mind?
Taken King raid, hands down.
Just the raid in general. I remember, we went into that blind and we went through, we got to Golgoroth and then we...
One of my...
The whole thing. We went all the way through Oryx.
No way.
No.
I mean, yes. Yes, we did. I recall that vividly. We first tried most of it.
Well, we didn't first try it.
World's first, was it? Or did we get second?
World's first. Maybe it was 2 different nights, but we did the whole raid because I played all the way through and beat Oryx. Like, I beat the raid.
Well, I just mean blind. We didn't do it blind.
Oh,
that's all I was talking about.
Yeah,
we did blind up to Golgoroth, and then we were like, man, we're struggling.
Playing that raid blind with our crew was a top moment, just in general.
Yeah, the priest or whatever.
Like the
War Priest.
I mean, just the...
We figured out the War Priest blind. That is probably the pinnacle of our raiding little crew that we had for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What's the second ever expansion in raid? Crota. That raid.
Oh yeah, dude.
Crota's End.
Too. Crota's End.
I will never forget the first time I was the sword bearer for Crota's End.
Yeah.
I've never had so much adrenaline playing a video game. I swear to God, like running. I don't know if you remember that raid, Zach, but like running up onto the platform to hit him.
Yeah, terrifying.
Was just like mortifying, but also invigorating.
Yeah,
it's crazy. That was like one of the defining. That was like one of the most defining what online gaming can be experiences for me in the like mid 2010s, you know. So
totally. Yeah. A couple of different moments in Destiny are some of my all-time gaming moments for sure.
Also, I've had some crazy clutch PvP moments. I was
gonna say,
I gave up with the rage that
some of my
induced.
Some of my favorite moments, more on the PvP side, are like just we have several videos of just like me and you, or the three of us.
Me and Calvin would do 1v1s a lot and just like try and snipe each other with what is it? No Land Beyond.
Yeah. It's just
good times, man.
Yeah.
I wish they would just update Destiny for 60 FPS because I want to go back and play, but it's tough to play 30. It's the Bloodborne thing. I'm just like, come on, man, just flip a switch for us, please.
I know.
So, all right, I guess that's it. Any closing thoughts on Destiny? Any rage to let out?
No, I'm just
sadness.
Just sadness, bittersweet. You know, not really sweet, just bitter, I guess.
Bitter, tragic, awful, bitter.
Yeah,
bitter,
I mean, the one thing I will say is it did have a decent length of a run, like, you know, a little over a decade. Like,
hey, they said it was going to be 10 years, and they held to it.
After 10 years, they're like, we gotta kill this. We didn't agree to 11.
We didn't agree to 11 years.
Oh no.
Hey, they're amended their word.
All right. Well, this has been a long podcast. It's been a crazy week of announcements and mourning the death of a favorite IP. This is like, it's not quite on par, but it's like if WoW was like, hey, we're done with WoW. It'd
it's as like, close to that other than
bro,
WoW.
I gotta go log into WoW and play some WoW.
I know. We gotta make sure they don't shut that down.
It more or less is that for me because I never
it's
really
the console
played
version
WoW,
of that.
So, but I did play Destiny.
Yeah. It's wild to think that WoW is outliving Destiny.
Crazy.
With the staggered start points of those. So
yeah.
All right, that's it from us. Thanks for joining us. There's no way you joined us for an hour and 45 minutes of this, but if you did, leave a comment that says Albatross, and we'll know. And otherwise,
and we'll award you with one Albatross.
Don't.
Why would you? That's such a promise.
How are we gonna ship an Albatross?
Legally binding.
Oh my God.
One of us will figure that out.
Only within the contiguous U.S.
Yeah.
Some other things apply. Yeah, that's gonna end for us. We're gonna head out and play some Destiny. Thanks for tuning in. Please look forward to whatever else we do. See ya.